accepting your intense chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name, which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scripture in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious religious activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not have complete faith in chanting of holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas. Very nice background, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Mehak. I am from India. And
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumar Devidasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Pujai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Sham Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. So glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all Guru Maharajas. This is Ekaradika Lila Devidasi.
Hare Krishna Ekaradika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Valli Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhan. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all three devotees assembled on the call. This is Sanita Ramya from Sharjah.
Hare Krishna Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace, the Samik Rishi Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 6th canto, chapter 16, verse 9. Before going to the call, I will hand out the call to Sureshwar Shyam Prabhuji to give brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please take over the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Being a doctor by profession, he has done immense services to the devotee community and served the society by donating for lots of projects. For example, he has donated the deities in Philadelphia temple, and he had made 3,000 temple units that serve as an altar in the villages. Prabhuji has also served as temple president of ISKCON New Jersey for 15 years. Recently, Prabhuji has helped in building Radha Gopinath Mandir in Kargaon, Madhya Pradesh, and a community for devotees to live around it. Prabhuji is known for his simplicity, humility. Prabhuji is now an initiating guru in ISKCON. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Samik Rishi Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak on these wonderful verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So last chapter, before this chapter, it is 16th chapter, that is King Chitraketu is meeting the Supreme Lord. Before that, King Chitraketu was meeting with Angira and Narad Muni. So when Angira Rishi comes, so he is in so much morose condition because his son, the alone son of 10, like 1 crore or 1 crore is 10 million wives, they could not produce a single child. And then he died because of the child was poisoned. Because of this, he not only he could not perform any activity. So in the last chapter, we are reading the last verses that past actions, because of we have done past action and past life many lifetimes, then there is a mental concoction because there is no real knowledge. And then we have past action means whatever we have done, it comes as a mental concoction, means we have a vision of the objects, and then there is further actions. In this way, we are trapped into this material world. So body is the source of all the vision. Our desires that causes more and more entanglement in the material world. So desire has to be only spiritual, not material. So Narad Muni brings the dead son to alive at everybody's vision. So and the Jiva is speaking in the previous verses that in which birth you were my father, and no one is permanently related. Relationships and feelings of possessiveness are temporary. And I am your son, or wife, or husband, or whatever this is possessiveness. But that is very temporary and it goes away. So we should not dwell on this relationship, but we should dwell on the Supreme Lord. So this verse number 9, 10, that is, tells about the qualities of the Lord and the Jiva soul. So 9th one talks about more about the Jiva soul. So read the verse, but first we will pray to the Supreme Lord. Om Agyantimirandasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Mano Vestam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Shyam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So text number 9, chapter King Chitraketu meets the Lord. Lada Sankarsha. Esha Nityo Aveya Shukshma Esha Sarvashaya Swadrak Atma Maya Gunair Vishwam Atmanam Srajate Prabhu. The word by word meaning. Esha means this living entity. That is about the soul. Nitya, eternal. Avyaya, imperishable. Sukshmaha, very, very fine, not seen by the material eyes. Esha, this living entity. Sarva Ashaya, the cause of different types of bodies. Swadrak, self-effulgent. Atma Maya Gunehi, by the supreme personality of Godhead's modes of material nature. Vishwam, this material world. Atmanam, himself. Sajate, appears. Prabhu, the master. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The living entity is eternal and imperishable because he actually has no beginning and no end. Anadi means there is no Adi means beginning and there is no beginning, Anadi. And there is no end. So it's Ananta. There is no definite end, but it is long period of time. It is called Ananta. He never takes birth or dies. He is the basic principle of all types of bodies, yet he does not belong to the bodily category. Completely different. Body and the soul is completely different, but the soul lives inside the body. Soul takes the shelter of the body. But it's not that we are the body, we are the spirit soul. The living being is so sublime that he is equal in quality to the Supreme Lord. So sublime in equal quality. Satchitana Ananda. Krishna is Satchitana Ananda Vigra. Being of his part, we are also eternal, not full of knowledge, but we have knowledge and we are seeking Ananda. We are Anandamaya Vyasa. Nonetheless, because he is extremely small, he is prone to be illusioned by the external energy. So, this Krishna has many energies, particularly Swarup Shakti, this marginal energy that is the Jiva soul, and external energy. Marginal energy is higher in nature than the Prakriti or material nature, Prakriti, but because she has taken the shelter of the Supreme Lord. But Jiva soul, the tiny Jiva soul, has not taken shelter of the Lord. So he is prone to be covered by the external energy called Maya. And thus he creates various bodies for himself according to his different desires. So these are each word is very, very important because we desire, and Krishna lets you see that can you be happy with those different kinds of desires. So he lets us fulfill the desire. We have the desire that let me enjoy this material energy. So he sends us, he creates so many different universes for us to fulfill our desires. So we can end it by if we think of service to the Lord without desiring from material to enjoy our senses. So purport in this verse, the philosophy of Achintya Veda Ved, Achint, inconceivable, Ved and Abhed in the Supreme Lord. So this verse itself talks about what is the difference between the Lord and us, the Jiva soul. We are his part and parcel. And what is the difference? Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Yako Vai Pauda Vidadhati Kama. That Krishna is Nitya, we are also Nitya. We are also eternal. But one is fulfilling the desires of everybody. And Nityo Nityanam Chetanas, we are Chetan, conscious. Chetanana, and among all the consciousness, we are also conscious. And Krishna is conscious. But Eko Bahuda Vidadhati Kama. He is fulfilling, but we are getting, our desires are fulfilled by the Supreme Lord. So there is a difference. We cannot fulfill even our desires, but only Krishna fulfills our desires. So simultaneously, one isn't different. Achintya, Ved and Abhed, different, is described. The living entity is eternal, Nitya, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the difference is that the Supreme Lord is greatest, no one being equal to or greater than him. That is Asam Order. Asam, there is nobody is equal. Asam, Sam means equal. Asam, not equal. And Order means greater. So nobody is equal to or greater than the Supreme Lord. Whereas the living entity is Sukshma. We are extremely small. The Shastra describes that the magnitude of the living entity is 1/10,000, the size of a tip of a hair. The Supreme Lord is all pervading. Andantaras Ramanu Chayantarasam. This is from Brahma Samhita 535. Relatively, if the living entity is accepted as the smallest, there should naturally be. So if there is a small, then there has to be greatest. Smallest and greatest should naturally be inquiry about the greatest. The greatest is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity. The smallest is the living entity. Another peculiar characteristic of the Jiva is that he becomes covered by Maya. Atma Maya Gunai. He is prone to be covered by the Supreme Lord's illusory energy. So illusory energy is Krishna's energy, one of Krishna's energy. And it empowers us, it covers us. The living entity is responsible for his conditional life in this mortal world. And therefore he is described as Prabhu. Because we may choose Krishna, we may choose mortal nature, we may like to enjoy, we may want to be a demigod or go to the lower planet system. So it's all up to us. That's why the Prabhu means we are the master of our own destiny. We could choose Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead, or we could choose to go to so many hellish planets. So it is up to us. And so it is very important to understand this. And this is the Maya, it is she is Gunamai. Devi Esha Gunamai, Mama Maya Dunatya. My Maya. Means it is one of the energy of the Lord. We are also one of the Lord's energy. Tatastha Shakti. Tata means the like ocean or river has its own border, and where it may be covered by water or may not be, may be open. So we don't call it a land, which is the on the side of the beach. So we don't call it land because it is most of the time it is covered by the waves. A river also overfloods and covers that area. So that is called Tat. So we are in that way that we could be on the spiritual energy or we could be the material energy. So we are responsible for the conditional life. That is important. So that's why we call each other Prabhu. That is something different. Prabhu means we are also part of there is a Supreme Lord is there, Paramatma, and we pay obeisances to that personality of Godhead, who is an expansion of the Lord as Paramatma, and we call them Prabhu. But otherwise, Prabhu means he is the master of his destiny. If he likes, he can come to this mortal world, and if he likes, he can return home back to Godhead, because he wanted to enjoy this mortal world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead gave him a mortal body through the agency of the mortal energy, as the Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita. I have a servant, and I tell that don't take another birth. No, I like it. I want to come back again. I told that you may not come back as human, whatever it is. I may be a bird or a monkey. I see them that they enjoy, but they do not know how much suffering is there. So most of the people are in this ignorance. Even if we teach them that don't take birth, just go back home, and you could enjoy millions and millions of times more. But people are used to this, and they concoct that enjoyment, and then they have to take another and another bodies. This is because of the mental concoction. The mental concoction is there from their previous lifetimes that we have gone through. So Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Tadeshe Arjuna Tisthati Brahmiyan Sarvabhutani Yantra Rudhani Maya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjun, and is directing the wandering of all living. So he is Ishvara Tadeshe Arjuna Tisthati. So Atma and Paramatma. So Paramatma is also in the heart and Atma is also there. But we are so much used to enjoy the bitter and sweet fruits of the tree of this body that we don't care about the Paramatma. We don't look at it, but is always with us and looking at when this child of mine will look at me, would serve me, would become friendly with me, and then he is ready to come and give direction. But we don't want to listen to the direction of the Supreme Lord. So these both are seated as on a machine. See, mortal body is a machine that is taking the soul from one place to another. But soul itself is the consciousness, or soul itself is the director, or soul itself takes the body. The body is conscious and walks because of the soul. But soul has to take a permission from the super soul, Paramatma, who is always ready to help the soul. So mortal energy is the seated on a machine made of the mortal energy. The body is made of the mortal energy. That's why body is a machine. The Supreme Lord gives the living entity a chance to enjoy in the material world as he desires. But he openly expresses his own desire that the living entity give. So living entity wants so many desires, and Krishna gives him so many bodies. But he clearly says that you just surrender to me. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam shanavaja. Only me, mine, you take shelter and do according to what I want, not according to what you want. So that is the difference, that we are doing according to what we want, our senses want, whether it is karmendriya, jnanendriya, whatever they want, but Krishna wants. So he has his own desire also. The living entity give up all these material aspirations or desires, fully surrender unto him and return home back to Godhead. So we have to do what Krishna wants. Krishnendriya priti vancha taranam prem, and Nijendriya priti vancha, that is taranam kam. Kam means lust. Lust is that if we want to satisfy ourselves. But if we serve Krishna, we could easily go back home, back to Godhead. The living entity is the smallest. Sukshma. Jiva Goswami says in this connection that the living entity, living entity within the body is extremely difficult for materialistic scientists to find, because it is so tiny. It cannot be seen even by the minute microscope. Plus, it is anti-physical. The microscope sees the physical objects. It cannot see the soul because it is not material. It is anti-material, and there is no microscope which would see the anti-material objects. Although we understand from the authorities that the living entity is within the body is different from the living entity. So body and this. So this verse talks about how we are different from the Supreme Lord, from Supreme Lord and soul. And mostly it is talks about the jiva, that is the Atman, Rup. So we will talk more and more about this Rup. 10th and 11th also verses, they talk about the soul and the difference between the soul and the body. So we call living being, whether it is a tree, whether it is a bird or reptile, they are all jiva. And jiva means they are alive. Why they are alive? Because of the soul. And they have, so jiva, alive means there is a consciousness, they could understand. But after the death, the body has no sensation. We do not call the body as a soul or jiva. So this body is not jiva. The soul is the jiva. Jiva means which is alive, jivita hai. Whoever is alive, that is aliveness is there. All the symptom of life are there because of the soul. When the soul is gone, everything is completely dead. Really, the body is dead even at this time, at this moment, every moment, but it looks alive. It looks like walking, talking, hearing, responding. It all does because of the soul, purpose of the soul. As long as we are conscious, the body is conscious. Then when the soul is gone, body becomes unconscious. Just like if there is in a room, dark room, if there is a lamp, then the light is there all over. But and then so the room looks like lighted. But once the this deepak or the lamp is removed, it becomes dark again. So the body seems all these signs of a life because the soul is there. So jiva or atma is a chetan satta. Chetan means it is consciousness. So we do not have, we means the soul has no connection with the body, eternal connection. As long as we are in the body, there is some connection. But once that is gone, then soul has no connection with that particular body. And the same soul can get many, 8.4 million species of life. Many people still, even in India, they feel if we are a human being, we will become human being again in the next life. So they do not read the scripture and they think in that way. When he takes the body of a man or a human being, he's called Manushya. When he takes body of a tree, he's a tree, or animals, or birds. So this conscious living being or the soul, why we have connection with the body? Because of the Bhagavad Vismrati. We have forgotten Krishna, and that why we have forgotten Krishna? Because of contact with the Maya. Why Maya is there? Why Maya is we are contacted with the Maya? Because we have different desires than Krishna himself. We have a different desire. Krishna wants to serve me. You make friendship of me in any relationship, whether as a friendly or as a servant or a parental relation or as a you could have relation in any way, but rather than making relation with Krishna, we want to make relation with the material world and want to enjoy our senses. So Krishna bhuliya जीव भोग वांछा करे पाछे से माया झापटिया दे. So that's we become bahirmukh, means outer rather than Krishna, our real world. Krishna bhuli si जीव anadi bahirmukh. From time immemorial, we have turned our face from Krishna. Atev maya tare de sansar dukh. That's why we are suffering threefold material misery: adi devik, adi bhautik, adhyatmik. So Maya makes us forget about who we are, and she gives us punishment. Punishment in different ways. So Maya has two different ways that how it acts on us. One is called Avaranatmika intelligence, and that we forget our Swarup Gyan, that we are the eternal soul, part and parcel of Krishna, and our duty is to serve Krishna. We forget our duty. And Vikshepatmika, Vikshep is thrown away, that we feel attached to that I am this body and let me enjoy these senses. Dehabhiman, Atmabhiman. So Dehad Adi mein produce that I am this body and let me enjoy this body. And that's why whether it is a bird or dog or a cat or whatever, they think that I am this cat and I have to enjoy my senses in whatever way we are. So we are desiring some different happiness, and that happiness then nature decides, Prakriti or Maya decides what kind of body. Or beyond Maya, and Maya is controlled by Krishna, and Krishna has many agents. So Brahma gives another body, or it may be Yamraj to have a suffering body, so a different kind of body. So he enters in that particular body to enjoy. Like you want to sow your body, become a tree. You want to become like a eat meat, then become some tiger or cheetah or something or lion or so we become like this. I want to drink hot blood. So Maya is giving you the different bodies according to our desires. Because we forget, this is because of the Maya, Atma Vismriti, that I am the spirit soul part of Krishna. That we think that I am this body, and that is called Dehatma Buddhi. And Dehatma Buddhi means not forgetting that I am Atma, but Deha is Atma. The body is Atma. That is called Dehatma Buddhi. And that is called Dvitiya Abhinivesh. Dvitiya Abhinivesh and Papabhavama. Normally it is that we are part of Krishna and we have to Jivana Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. But rather than that, we have this called Dvitiya Abhinivesh. So means you are so much parishram, fan comes, that we are व्यर्थ, we spend our time in so many व्यर्थ things. Bhav means we are always fearful, and mrityu, day, we are always fearful of mrityu. So it is called Dvitiya Abhinivesh. Our real Abhinivesh should be in Krishna, that we are part of Krishna. We belong to his spiritual kingdom. So Jiv, we are, because of this Dvitiya Abhinivesh, we are looking happiness in this material world, Prakrit Jagat. But we are not Prakrit, we are spiritual. So we cannot enjoy. It's two different things. We may look like temporarily that there is a happiness in male-female relationship or in eating different foods or different things. But really there is no happiness because it is flickering, it just goes away. And soul wants something permanent. And unless we have something permanent, because it's completely, the material things are completely opposite or different from the nature of the soul. And that's why we can never be happy in the material world. Even if you bring all the bhoga or enjoyable things of this material world that we think, but we cannot be happy unless it is good. Just like a fish cannot be happy outside its own atmosphere. Our atmosphere is a spiritual atmosphere. Only in the spiritual kingdom or spiritual world or with the devotees we can be happy. Not we can be happy in the material atmosphere. You bring fish out and the water, it will flop for some time. It may go more and more thinking that there is a happiness for them, but he never gets. Not like Mraga Marichika. Mrag Marichika means a deer runs. Mrag means a deer runs. She sees because of the reflection of the sand with the light or sun. It just seems that there is water, but there is no water. The deer goes, jumps, runs. Oh, then it goes further and further away. So same thing, happiness goes further and further away. Oh, so it is just alluring. It's just mind's conception. It is not reality. It is, everything is temporary. It just goes away, and temporary we may feel happy, but that happiness would soon dwindle. And so that's why we are suffering from anadikal. Anadi means time immemorial. We do not know when it began, our mortal journey. And so we have a relationship between Krishna or Bhagwan and Jiva, Anshanshi. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamaivansho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Manas Asthani Indriyani, Prakriti Sthani Karshati. But we are not part like a part of Krishna that you have some stone and then you have cut it with something sharp. But we are not that piece. We are also eternal. Brahma and Atma both are achedya. Means you cannot cut it to pieces. You cannot merge it. So because Brahma and so there is no vikar. Vikar means it cannot be reduced. It cannot be dissolved. It cannot be burned. So same thing, soul is also like this. So Brahma cannot have the vikar, means a reduction or addition, nothing, dissolution, nothing can happen. Brahma avikari hai, and Jiva also is avikari because Jiva is part of Krishna. Because we are energy of Krishna, that's why. So we are one of the energy of the Krishna. And Ekadeshi means we are just connected with Krishna. It's not that we can be separated from Krishna. What we feel. Shaktiman Brahma, that is Shaktiman. And Shakti is part and parcel. So we are Shaktiman and the Shakti. Sanyukta Shakti. Sanyukta means the Shaktiman is there and the Shakti is there. So we are Ansh of that Shakti and Shaktiman. And we are not part of just the energy, but we are part of, means it's not, oh, we are just energy and finish. No, we have connection with Krishna all the time. Connection is sarva and we servitude. We have to serve Krishna. So being his, just like arms and our finger, sometimes they want to be separate. So we are just part. Let us enjoy separately. But they cannot. One time, like they all did, that okay, we won't put food in the stomach, and they wanted to. After 15 days, they become all the parts so weak and so now okay, now let us just feed the stomach. So hand started working. The food is started going to cook the food, and so all this, every part started working together. Then only we could be alive and we could be energetic. Just like from Mrag-mad. Mrag-mad means there is a kasturi. So that is there in the umbilicus of the deer. The deer runs to look where is that smell is coming, and then he dies ultimately. And we are also running for some kind of enjoyment, and then we die. And there is nothing enjoyment. Just like Agni and Agni Jwala is pulling, cannot be separated. They will shine as long as they are around the fire. And if they fall away, they extinguish, they become ashes. They are not pulling. They are not apart. Same thing that we are going away to look for that smell like mraga or like a fire chingari. So we are part of the Shakti, Shaktiman and Shakti, both are there together. But Jiv is not part of Swarup Shakti. Swarup Shakti means Krishna expands his own. So we are not part of Maya also. So Maya Shakti, Sanyukta Brahmas, we are not part of that. Why not? Maya is Jada and we are Chetan. We have consciousness. Maya do not. So how an unconscious part could have a conscious person? So we are not part of Maya. We are not part of Swarup Shakti. So we are part of the Tatastha Shakti. So Tatastha Shakti. So we are part of Tatastha Shakti. Sanyukta Brahma. When Shaktiman is also there and Shakti is there. And we are part of Shakti and Shaktiman. Sanyukta. So that's why sometimes the Jiva is called Chidrupa Shakti or Chit Shakti. But we are not situated in a Swarup Shakti. So some are Swamsa and some are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Swams and Vivinnans. Ananta Bhagavat Swarup in the spiritual world, Paravyam, Purushavatar, Lilavatar, Gunavatar, Swarup, see that are Swams Tattva. Krishna himself expands into that. So although they are not Krishna, but they are part of Krishna. Direct Krishna is there. But we are part of the Jiva Shakti, which is Krishna Kansh. We are his Vivinnans. So Swam Swarupa are Swams and Vivinnans. So the Jiva soul is Vivinnans. Krishna's even Parikar. So in Bhagavad Gita there is a verse Aparayam idastu one anya prakriti vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabhaho edam dharyate jagat shar and akshar. Here akshar, that we are reducing. The bodies. Akshar Kutastha. Akshar is Jivatma, Avinashi. Jivatma is Avinashi. Avidya and Vidya. Kshetra, Kshetragya. These are all described in Bhagavad Gita very vividly. That Gita just said. So Sri Krishna's all expansion, his parikar, his relations, they are all part of the swans. But Jiva, even in Muktavastha, that we are liberated, we are in the spiritual kingdom, we are still Vivinnansh. Means the one who is eternally liberated and living in the spiritual but still they are within Tatastha Shakti. किरण सूर्य मंडल में नहीं रहती, सूर्य के मंडल के बाहर ही होती है. मीन्स द किरण, द रेज आर आउटसाइड ऑफ द सन, although it is part of the sun itself. So we are part of Krishna, but still we are not in the Swarup of Krishna. We are out of the Swarup of Krishna. So there is that's why we are talking Achintya Veda Bhed. And I will talk little bit. Jiva is Veda and Abheda. Abheda means there is no difference, and Veda means that there is a difference. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his own philosophy, Achintya Veda Bhed Tattva. He was talking about that we are one and the same, and we are different because we are very, very minute in quantity. But we have the same, just like water is a drop in a big ocean. It seems like it is water. It has same substance, same H2O, or if it is a salt water, there is salt, sodium chloride is there. Tattvamasi, like sometimes it is a Tattvamasi, you are the same. This is the Vedvachya Vakya. But in the Vedvachya Vakya, that it says difference. This is all in the Upanishads. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahma. But we are not Brahma. But we are was told that we are part and we have to serve the whole of whose we are part. Just like our part has to serve like our part is hand, our part is legs. They have to serve the body. So same thing that we have to serve the Supreme Lord. So Vedvachak and Avedvachak. So just like Makdi, like a spider that has expands by the tantu. Just like there is fire and there are small fire spurling, and that is so same thing. The Supreme Lord, all this expansion happens. So there is Bhedvachak verses are there, and Abhedvachak verses are there in the Upanishads. Shankaracharya is saying that Bhedvachak, that is differentiation, is Vyavaharik, it is practical, and Abhedvachak is Paramarthik. Bhedvachak is Gaun, Bhedvachak means viশেষ, and the main is Abhedvachak is the Mukhya. Gaun means subordinate and Mukhya. But in the spiritual kingdom, it is not somebody's Gaun or not Gaun, or that is not there. It is just Shankaracharya is saying that. Because Shruti Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that Shruti Vakya is Aparusha. That Aparusha means it is not written by some Purush, some person. That's why saying that something is Gaun or subordinate and something is Mukhya is not. That is, we are crossing the Maryada of the scriptures. Shastra is talking about Brahma and Jiva, Bhed and Abhed, both are there. So, but there is a difference. So Bhed and Abhed are there, Bhed in the quantity and quality. That's why. So both are true. Bhed and Abhed both are true. Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. Krishna Tatastha Shakti Bheda Bheda Prakash. That is Bhed and Abhed is there. So we'll talk a little bit more on this. Just like a snake, it's a Kundali. He just wrapped around like a Kundali बना करके बैठा है सांप. A snake is में, but it's not a. It is, you could call it is a snake, but if somebody say no, it is not a snake, it is Kundali. And same thing that you make some ornaments, you may say it is a gold, but somebody may say it is not gold, it is a necklace, or it is a ring, or you may call by a different name. So Brahma and Jiva both are Chidavastu. Chid means conscious. That's why we are Abhinna. But Brahma Vibhu Chid. And Vibhu, that is very great and we are tiny, infinitesimal. Is infinite and we are infinitesimal. Is Sarvashaktiman and we have Alpa Shakti. Brahma is Niyanta, is controller, and we are to be controlled by Brahma. Brahma is Mayatit, but we could be grasped. Jiv Anu and Alpa Shaktiman and Maya Parvash. That Maya has not given the shelter of Supreme Lord and we have given up. So we are alone. So we could be gulped. Like Prabhupada gives the example that as long as I was with my father as a child, I was not afraid. And he's alone, then somebody may do something. So same thing that if we take shelter of Krishna, then naturally nobody can hurt us, harm us, and everything will be done properly. So we are controlled by the Maya. So Vedyas wrote all this Vedanta Sutra just to do this Samanvaya, that Ved and Aved, that he wrote all this. That's why it is called this Vedanta Sutra or called Uttar Mimamsha. One is Purva Mimamsha. Purva means beforehand, and Uttar means later on, afterwards. But they have given all this, and then they discuss about these things more and more. Just like there are 6 Sandarbha, but even same Jiva Goswami wrote a 7th Sandarbha also to analyze all these 6 Sandarbhas and give detail of all these six Sandarbhas. So, just like a fire and its pullings, there is a Bhed and Abhed. That's why in the same way, Brahman Jiva, there is a Bhed and Abhed. And that's why we are part of Brahma. Both are there. That's why the Jiva is Ansha of Brahma. And then we talked about the size, that it is so small, but it most expands when we give up this material thing or material body. Then when we go to the spiritual kingdom, in all the anga, we don't need the material anga. It is not necessary. Ishwarera tattva jena ispuling jwalan. Jivera swarup jaise ispuling hera kana. So we are Anutva. We are separate, and that's why we are Anu, and Krishna is Vibhu. Vibhu and Anu. So that is Swarupgat Laksha. So even in our Nitya Swarup, still we cannot be Vibhu. Sayuja Mukti, that is merging with the Brahma. Brahma means the Supreme Lord. Merge. But still there is a separation is still there. Like a green bird is going to the tree which is green, and we may not be able to see it, but it is still has a separate existence. Just like a fire, loha, like iron, we put in the fire, it takes all the fiery qualities, but still iron is separate and the fire is separate. Although we may develop tadamyata, tadamyata means ekrupta, same, but still there is a difference will always remain there. Shankaracharya is saying that is the monistic philosophy, that when we are in Mukta Avastha, we also become Vibhu, Brahmatma. So you are Om Namo Narayana. You are Narayana, I am also Narayana. I am also Vibhu, just because I am covered by Maya. How a Narayana can be covered by a previous Jiv could be covered by Maya, but that's how they could not. But even Shankaracharya says that one who is Mukta, they also do bhajan to Krishna. How they will do bhajan? Because they are separate. Otherwise, how you could chant or sing the glories of the Lord? So he also accepts Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudamate, Prapte Sannete, Karne Nahi Rakshati, Don't Kuch Karne. So the qualities of Jiva, what is the quality? So we have a separate existence all the time. Just like this Chitraketu's son. He said that in which lifetime that you were my father or I was your son. I had millions of fathers and mothers. We have So according to him, this Jiva is giving the real philosophy that everybody is a separate soul, part and parcel of Krishna. And we are making our own separate Ishwaratva in this material world, which cannot last. It is just changeable. And so just like son and father, separated. And sometimes a son may be your enemy, wife may be your enemy, husband may be your enemy. We come because of our karma or certain time, just like so many particles of the sand. In a wave one comes at the ocean, we come together and then separated, but maybe never meet together. So many straws are flowing in the river, and straws, they come together when there is a flood, and then they are separated forever. So same thing, that we should not think that I would be here eternally or I will have a relationship. But we have made in such a way that, oh, we have a relation. And we do not want to, so we should not be too much attached to this material relation. We do our activity with others according to the Shastra, that wife and husband both should serve Krishna, our children should be taught about Krishna consciousness. If some simple fact we understand, not that सात जन्म का some cinema, that सात जन्म का हमारा साथ है, सदा सदा का साथ है, वो completely गलत है, because सबके कर्म अलग अलग रहते हैं. They are enjoying separately karma, and they have to get the separate results. How we could meet again in the next life? Yes, if you become both Krishna conscious and go both home, it's possible to be together, but not otherwise. By material means, it cannot be. So the qualities like where Advaitwadi, when Shankaracharya's followers, they say that we do not have the Jiva, do not have Gyatratva, Kartratva, and Bhoktratva. Gyatratva means to know something, or Kartratva, any activity what to be done. And Bhoktratva means, Bhokta means enjoying. That we do not have, the soul do not have that. But Jiva Goswami is saying that we have all, that we are Gyata, we are Karta and we are Bhokta. We are Gyan Swarup. Jiva is knowledgeable. We are covered. That's why we may not know that we are part of Krishna. But the knowledge with who has, what is the meaning of knowledge? When somebody is knowledgeable. So Jiva is knowledgeable. So there is a Gyan is there. And Gyan, that, so Gyatratva is there. And Jiva means a Gyata. And same thing, Kartratva. Otherwise, what is the meaning of, if there is no Kartratva, means to do some activity, Karta. So when we say that, Kartratva means he can do it, he could change his doing. Otherwise, there is no meaning of all the Shastra. Because Shastra is saying that if you want to go to Swargalo, you do this and this here. If you want to, so there are many, many things that you worship this demigod. If you want to get a good husband, you worship Durga, or wife, you worship Durga, or husband, you worship Lord Shiva, like Durga Mata worship Lord Shiva, and she got a good husband. And like this, there are many, many. If you want to get cured, you worship sun god. So that means there is a Kartratva is there, Kartratva is there. So Gyata, Kartratva, and Bhokta, Bhoktratva. So all these three are there in the Jiva. So why Shastra is saying, Sri Krishna is saying that we think that we are Karta. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankar vihunatma karta. So we don't say that we are Karta. It is done by the material nature, through its three modes of material nature. Why it is? So this is in the Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, it is about Maya Baddhaji, we are bound up. But in our freedom, when we are not bound by the Maya, then we have our own Karta. Otherwise, everything is done according to these three modes of material nature. That is Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai. Gun means Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Gunai Karmani Sarvasha. That by Prakriti is doing all this work. How it is doing everything? We think that I am doing it, I am lifting, means everything is done by Krishna, by Prakriti, but I am doing it. Why the Shastra says like? Because when we are Maya Baddha, we are like a puppet. Just like somebody is a drunkard man. Then he wants to have the wine. Then wine is controlling, not he. Somebody has to eat onion, garlic, this medicine, that medicine. Somebody is somebody is lobby for wealth, and then they will be, so wealth is pulling you wherever there is, where is the money, or somebody looking for a woman, so then they will go behind that, and woman is making him dance. So in this way we are not the controller, but control is done by, so this is by the Maya Baddhaji is that is for this verse is for Maya Baddhaji, but one who is because then our kartratva is nothing, it is all done by Maya. Maya is making us move. That's why Maya ne mujhe kiya hai. But Maya can be controlled if we serve Krishna, and then so just like and then she will give us behind. If we, when Krishna is Surya Sam, Maya hai andhakar. Jahan Krishna, tahar nahi Maya radhikar. Wherever there is Krishna, Maya cannot come. So in sun globe there is no darkness. So where there is Krishna, there is no Maya, and then we are free. We are under Krishna. Maya cannot do. Maya does not have power to even come in front of Krishna. Wherever there is Krishna, Maya is always behind. She is a maid servant, and she is afraid of coming in front of Krishna. And if Jeev has taken shelter of Krishna, then Maya cannot affect us. So whenever that Shuddha Jiva, then when we desire, so that is main problem is desire to enjoy separately this material world. Then he comes under, then he takes shelter of the Maya, and Maya puts us in his network that we cannot get out. Then in that at that time we do not have our kartratva. It is all done by Maya. Kartratva Shakti is according to the Maya's desire. But we don't also lose our intelligence at that time, that this is all by Maya. We think it is natural, it is all right to do it in that way. Because we are Maya Mugdha Jeev. Maya means she's elude us, and we lose our intelligence to understand this fact. This is all done by Maya. Just like if we have been haunted by a ghost, then ghost carries us. Ghost, whatever ghost wants to do, he does it. But what the people are, we will think that I am doing it. No, I am not doing it. It is the ghost. So Maya is like a ghost, and she is making us do so many nonsensical things. So same thing. So Maya is like a ghost, because we do not know what we are doing and what is the purpose of life. Who is God? Who am I? What is? We do so many things which are really neither needed, nor it is appropriate, nor it is meant for us to engage in this. Let me earn so much money, let me have. Means we do so many things. We decorate the body so much, so not for Krishna, but that people would adore us. I'm so beautiful. I live so luxuriously. I have to. That's why Shastra sometimes says that you have to detach from all these things and live simply. Simple living, I think. So many like they just that ornate means it may be for people who are in the renounced order of life, that is not their trees who give the fruits, not their water, that you have the rivers, is not that you could lie down and have pillow of your own hand, the earth, you could use it as your mattresses. So you don't need all these things, and many people they go on this. So, but why there is Anuswatantra? Anuswatantra means minute independence. Why not Purna? Krishna is Swarat, or Purna, completely independent. So, so Jiva is not completely free to do what he wants to do. His kartratva means activity depends on Krishna. Krishna is there as Antaryami in all the in his heart, like we read Steshwara Sarvabhutanam Radhisya Arjuna Tishtati Amyan Sarvabhutani Yantrarurani Maya. So our kartratva is under Paramatma, under the super soul who is there along with us. Yadi he is doing, Paramatma is doing everything, then why there is Vidhi and Nished? You do this and you don't do this. If we have nothing, if it is, so people just think that yes, my Kratratva is done by Krishna. So he is the one who is doing, making me do it. No, but because we desire something different, and Krishna is just fulfilling our desires. So because our Kratratva isn't desiring, but activity is done by Krishna. Because if it is all done by Krishna, then how we could be responsible for our good or bad? So if Krishna is doing good or bad for some different people, so he's doing good fruits to the person who is doing good, and bad fruits or bad results somebody who is doing wrong or against. So can we call Krishna is Nishthur? He is very hard-hearted. Pakshapati, he takes paksha sight of somebody, but it's not like this. So Jiva is free, free in desiring, free in thinking, but his activity, the result is done by Krishna, because he has minute freedom, because we are part of the complete freedom, and we are a minute soul, we have a small freedom. Just like a cow is tied with 20 foot of the rope to a pole. So naturally she could go up to 20 feet, but not beyond that. So we have been given a small independence, and to choose Krishna or to choose Maya. So it is up to us. If we are choosing Krishna, then Krishna will come. We walk 1 foot and he's coming 100 foot steps. Krishna is complete. We are his Ansh. So we have Anshik Swatantrata. That is natural. So he's free because doing good or bad, he could desire to do it. Ichha वो कर सकता है. For Partantra, in getting the result, he is dependent on Krishna. He cannot fulfill those without Paramatma. Even touching the nose, like if I'm touching my nose, it is Paramatma is sanctioning. Okay, you could walk, you could touch, because he may paralyze us at any time. We will not be able to even touch our nose or scratch our head, or cannot do it even small. So the energy are given that by Supreme Paramatma. Ishwar Pradatta. So he has given us the karma shakti to do some activity, and then we follow the vidhi and nished, do and don'ts that we follow accordingly. But it is he is giving us the energy. That's why we are responsible for all our activity. Whatever if we do good, we will reap the good result. Jo toko kata boye, tahi boye tu. So that is something different. So Krishna is not responsible usually by good or bad results. Just like same seed and the land and the watering. So seed has all the seeds of doing what kind of tree. The water and land is the same, but in the same land and water, same mud, so many fruits so many trees or so many plants can be done. So seed is we are producing. Seed means the desiring a different thing, and that the result, what is grown is something different. So seed is there. Otherwise, Ishwara cannot, the karma cannot be produced. The karma is done by the person, the jiva, but it is done according to his desires. And Krishna, just like I give you the example of the cow with the 20-30 foot of rope, she could desire to go 20 feet, but not beyond that. But jiva is a das, and that is our Nitya Dharma. Nitya Dharma means a Jivara Swarupa, Krishna is Nitya Das. And there is also Naimittik Dharma. Naimittik is Nitya Dharma is to serve Krishna. We are part of Krishna to serve Krishna. Naimittik Dharma is you wake up, brush time, brush your teeth, take a bath. That are all Naimittik Dharma. But if it is for Krishna, then it becomes Nitya Dharma. Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha. So I was telling you that Nitya Baddha Jiv, that is Anadi. But Nitya Baddha, we are not eternally bound. Otherwise, where is mercy of Krishna? If we are bound up for all the time eternally, just like some Christians think that we are in eternal hell, but that's not true. Krishna is very, very merciful, kind, and that's why it is called so Nitya Baddhata is Anadi, but not Ananta. Adi means the beginning, or Ananta means it does not end. It does end, and by mercy of Krishna. So the mercy of Swarup Shakti is necessary. Whether we are Nitya Baddha or Nitya Mukta, but we need the Swarup Shakti's shelter. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabunay. That Krishna Prem is there, but we are covered. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Kare. We have, if we hear properly, so that's the first thing that we hear about Krishna, his names, his glories, his about devotees. So that then it starts coming. So Nitya Das and Nitya Seva. Nitya Das, we are eternalists, but are we doing Dasta? If we are Nitya Das, why we are doing Dasta Maya? So Nitya Seva and Nitya Das, these two is because we are Vibhinnansha of Krishna. That's why we are called Nitya Das. But we are not doing Nitya Seva. Dva Suparna Sahaja Sakhaya. Two Suparna Sahaja Sakhaya, that though because we are in the same place, Paramatma and Atma are in the Hridesha Arjuna Krishna. And that's why we are called Sakha, Krishna and Arjuna, because they are on the same place, Sajati, Samapran, Ansh and Anshi. There is a just and connect relationship. So Ansha, Anshika Nitya Das, but or Anshi is the Nitya Pujya, but really he is not doing his seva. So when we start doing that seva by our free will, then that is called really Nitya Seva. Aham Bhagavato Anshosmi Sada Dasosmi Sarvata. Just like I will give you an example and then I will end, although it is a big topic. Is it possible to serve Aptakam Bhagwan? How it is? But he is also hungry for our love. He is giving us sweetness and we are hungry for our love. Just like a Rajkumar or a prince, he became mad, he was hunted by a ghost and he was acting whatever ghost is doing. But after the Uja and some people came, he would throw, you are not my father, I don't care about you. He throws everything and he kills people and does so many nonsense. But when he is cured, then he understands, oh, he has made a mistake. This is my father, I should respect him, I should love him, I should serve him. And he acts properly as a Rajkumar. But he was Rajkumar even when he was hunted by a ghost. It's not that we can say that he was not a Rajkumar. He was a prince, even in his Unmad Avastha. And same thing that we are Nitya Das, but in our Unmad, material in Unmad, because we are under Maya. Maya is like a ghost, and she is making us to do so many different things according to our desire. And that's why, but Nitya Seva is something that we are eternally servant. And Prem is Apurnata. So Krishna is looking for our love, Prem. That is, it is. So Krishna is also so many times more hungry, more relish. So more Prem, more Krishna would also show us that, okay, I need your Prem. He gives us sweetness, his beauty. So he is Raso Vaisa. Rasam Hevayam Labdva Anandi Bhati. We want to become Ananda, and his Raswaru is solid Ananda, and by connecting with him, we can also be Anandit ho sakte hain. But it is when we sing Mahaprasade Govinde, Mukti api lilaya vigraham kratva bhagavantam bhajan. Even people who are liberated, they also do bhajan. Yes, when we say, but there has to be lots of like Mahaprasade Govinde, Nama Brahmani, Mahaprasad, Nam Brahmani Vaishnave. Nama Brahmani Vaishnava. So, Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasa, but people who have Swalpa Punya, they do not feel that it is so important. Or it is Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Neva Jaya. They don't have a belief or trust that these are prasad has so much glories, even a prasad in the nails that has been kept. So it is Shiv Shankar Bhagavan just took that, he just took little prasad and Narad Muni's nail underneath the nail and he took it and he started dancing. So much, so but we do not know the importance of this because we have Swalpa Punya. But we have heaps of Punya, we will understand all this. Punya means devotional service. So anyway, this is a long topic and there is many things that can be asked, but I will end here because it's more than an hour. So if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, something corrections, so please let us discuss. I hope you could hear well.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, we could hear it very clearly. Internet was not any problem. Today it was very clear, Prabhuji. Very nice topic, Prabhu. You have covered many details. So, Prabhu, so the quality, the minute quality that we have as like Supreme Personality of Godhead is the soul's quality, or it is the body's quality that we have minute?
No, it is not body. Body is dead and has no quality. It is the soul's qualities.
Soul has a very minute quality. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Ananda, just like a drop of water and an ocean. There is a difference. A big mound of gold and a small particle of gold. They could be called the same, but there is a difference. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu. It's really enlightening class with detailed explanation, Prabhuji. Thank you. If anybody have any questions or realization would you like to share, please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Samik Rishi Prabhu, it was so wonderful. So, Prabhuji, you told about Shankaracharya, no? He has written that Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. That song he wrote. So, actually, though he was impersonal, but he's Shiva, no? Shankaracharya is Shiva's incarnation. So he knew that we are Jiva, we are part and parcel of Krishna and everything. But he was told by Krishna to go and preach impersonalism. But in the end of the thing, he wrote that do only go. But ultimately, the followers, they're telling Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja. The Govinda is worshipped only by Mudas. They are totally changing the whole thing. Actually, he didn't mean that. He told that.
Yeah. That's
so
correct.
That means Shiva is aware of that Govinda is the supreme man of the Lord. He had to come and just show the impersonalism and Mayavadis and all. It was actually, he's completely a pure devotee of Krishna Maharaj. He was one of the 12 Mahajanas. No? Is it Shiva really totally in illusion when he came as Shankaracharya, or he had to act after Buddha came?
He was acting after Buddha. He wanted to establish again the Vedic Shastras because Buddha said, don't accept any of the Shastra. That is just time period. That is Krishna's plans. And so he came to bring but then there is Vaishnavas, they came, and gradually Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, and Vishnu Swami, and all this Sampradaya came.
Then after came the Gaudiya Sampradaya. But I want to know why, without Krishna's permission, nothing happens. Even a patta bhi nahi hit sakta hai. Without Krishna's permission, nothing can move. So, what was the necessity for bringing Christianity and Islamic? These are all making us go away from so much of, these 4 this Kerala, all those film has come and all. So why so much of confusion has come? What was the necessity that the Islamic and Christianity has come? I'm not trying to ask why Krishna is doing, but I'm just getting my feeling that why.
Okay. Prabhu, so many jiva soul, they have different desires, and according to their desires, Krishna has created. These are all in between. They are not eternal shastra. They are there temporarily, and so many things temporarily come. Like temporarily, you will eat something that you never eat. So variety, and because of so many souls, desires are different. So he created so many shastras, so many things. But eternal thing is different than something temporary.
So will he finally restore the whole thing? They're trying to convert, they're trying to make the people who are Sanatani, they're trying to make them no. So ultimately Krishna will drive the thing, no? A change ho jayega na abhi. Paristhiti will change, no? Because the golden age has come. So
yeah, when golden age comes, so it is so many 425,000 years after that. So let it come by its own. We do our we do our preaching activity, we teach, but it's then up to Krishna whether he takes it or not. We do our best.
No, this first 10,000 years of Kali is a golden age of Kali. No, abhi jo chal raha hai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jaane ke baad 500 till 9,500 years are there. But I heard that somebody told that next 100 years, some big Vaishnavism will come and sabko, like Prabhupada did it like that. Again, there may a revolution can happen now. All will start chanting. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, no, that all will go with Tilaka and the all will be Vaishnava. Wishful thinking, Maharaj. I seek your blessings.
Okay, good. Thank you. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, this is a special Kali. Only 500 years ago, 25, and Krishna also came 5,000 years ago. In other kalpas or other, it does not happen. So many one kalpa is like 4 Chaturyugi or 1,000 times of Chaturyugi. So in each day of Brahma, Krishna comes only once. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes only once. So we are very lucky that we are born and caught hold of Prabhupada's lotus feet. Then naturally we are more understand these things, and this will happen. That only one shastra, one chanting name, because this is eternal religion that we are following. Sanatan Dharma. Others are not Sanatan Dharma. They come and they go. We are born and we are gone. Something new, but the religion or that has been given by Krishna is eternal all the time. He gave it to sun god and gave it to other. So what Bhagavad Gita is there eternally. It's not given only 5,000 years ago to Arjuna. It is there.
It's going to sun god.
Right. Okay.
So that means Sachinandan Gaurahari comes only once in a day of Brahma. After Krishna, he comes. In all other times, it is Gaura Narayan. They won't be like Sachinandan.
Right.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mataji.
Anyone else has any comments?
Yeah, thank you so much for wonderful answer, Prabhuji. Does anybody have any other questions? Would you like to share? Prabhuji, if nobody have any questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
everybody understands and is satisfied, so I'm glad.
One question in chat room, Prabhuji, Prahlana Prabhuji. Under conditioned state, if the jiva is practicing bhakti, is that also due to dedication of Maya? If not, the jiva also is the door independent of Maya. I humbly please explain, Prabhuji. That's what.
Okay, very nice question. That whether we are all conditioned souls and we are taking to Krishna Bhakti. But whenever we are doing Krishna Bhakti, the Maya is steps back. So it is the by Krishna's arrangement that we can do some bhakti. And Maya would push us, but Maya also gives us our catchment. Whenever we are doing bhakti, she would be away. But now you may say that when you are chanting and so many thoughts come, this is because our conditioning state from previous material life or previous janma or this janma also. So we have to be completely purified. But one can chant, one can do devotional service, but it is not. So you have purified in the mind and we have love. See, like chanting is of two types. We are doing numerical chanting. Bahunam janvanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. So, but when we are in real knowledge, means we may go on doing this chanting without really attachment. We should be saras or sweet, or we should be attached to Krishna and then chant. Oh, this is Krishna. I'm chanting Krishna's names. Krishna is the Supreme God. I am his part and parcel. I must serve him. I must chant, distribute this knowledge. I must just take prasad. So then Krishna does help us. But if we just do mechanically, without, just like this Ajamil, he chanted Narayan in a state that he was completely, like he was so much afraid. But he did with his son, was he was very dear. That son was very dear. So lovingly he chanted the name of Narayan, and that's why Narayan Bhutas came there immediately. But if he would be just Narayan, he would have no love, nothing, just out of. But at that time he was in a state that he chanted the name that maybe my son protect me. But the name was Narayan. So Narayan could protect. Krishna does not see that it is he's calling out his child. Even in the car, Das Ram. And if you say, then Ram name is there. And that's why it will protect you. That's why one should keep the name of the child or someone, your beloved, related to Krishna. Not something that has no meaning. Then you can be protected. Just like Ajamil gave the name Narayan. Because of his previous devotional service. And some sadhus came and told his wife, give the name whenever you have a new child, give the name Narayan. So Krishna, how much he helps us in so many different ways. Okay. So your question is very, very important, that whether we are, but when we are chanting lovingly, it is by our internal energy or by Krishna's arrangement. And we are chanting without any test, without any feeling, without any emotions, thinking, then it will have a very, very delayed result, or may not have result at all. Even you chant for life after life. But even lava matrasa, just as if we have a very flickering little bit attachment to Krishna, then it will remove all the impediments. Krishna will see, make the place in our heart, remove all the dirt. You have to remove the dirt. That's why there is sadhana bhakti. And you should do the sadhana, sadhu sangha, prasad, and follow some rules, regulation. And then when you are in a higher state, then you could directly connect to Krishna. Not that they don't have to follow rules and regulation, but still you could just go on with your activity. Like somebody may eat on Ekadashi, or because of somebody may be like Nityananda Prabhu. He was Avadhut, so he may not follow rules. But he is Krishna himself, or some devotee may be on a higher stage. They may not have to follow all the rules and regulations. Anyway, that is in detail. But my saying is that when you are chanting lovingly, it is by Krishna's mercy. And we should see that it is devotional service. It is not by Maya. Maya cannot come in front of Krishna. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful answer. Yeah, we'll end the call here, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your valuable association, and we look forward for your association again and again, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
With this way of blessings to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha Kalpata.
Kalpatarusha kripa sindhubhyo vacha
Sindhubhyo patitanam
pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai. Gauranga.
Gauranga, Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Gauranga
Gauranga.
Nityananda
Close the
Jai
call,
Shri
dear devotees. Hare